Today we're going to go over the Halo TV series and how well the game has been adapted. This bland mashup of fluffy nothingness is filled with mediocre fight scenes at best, and to those unfamiliar with the Xbox games, it's simply confusing and frustrating. So much more could have been achieved if they gave the franchise the love it deserved. First off, let's explore the initial tone. Pablo Schreiber removes his helmet in the 51st minute of Halo, which is a military space opera. This is one of the first programs launched on the new streaming service Paramount+, with a single episode preview on platforms like Channel 5. He lets the terrified and irate girl he is chaperoning till now finally get a look and see his strong face and sorrowful eyes. His character is none other than the disgruntled military Master Chief Petty Officer John 117, who players know and love. Previously, we had only seen the character in the video game. This is the first glimpse we caught of Master Chief on TV. The first-person shooter genre, in which you see through the eyes of the character you're playing as they fire at enemies, was invented by the computer game Halo, which was released back in 2001. By building its bullet-riddled action on a mythology about a conflict between the United Nations Space Command and an alien theocracy known as the Covenant in the centuries to come, it helped introduce larger narratives to video games. It also helped Microsoft's debut of the Xbox console be a massive success. Next, we'll see how Halo tries to set itself apart. Halo the series aims to join the pantheon of outstanding TV programs that dramatize video games, which currently includes, well, nobody really. In reality, that Hall of Fame is as deserted as a cave on a radioactive planet. Of course, with the exception of Arcane. We love Arcane. It doesn't make much sense to turn video games into television shows in the first place, because if you stay true to the existing plot, there probably won't be enough material for a whole drama to take forward. If you depart from it in favor of your own ideas, you risk alienating the player base completely. With its extensive background at its disposal, Halo should be able to close the gap, you'd think, right? However, the first episode has a different challenge, which is how to appease its fans without confusing newbies who are unfamiliar with the forerunners and precursors and all sorts of Halo lore. Is it a challenge? Absolutely. Did they still try to do a half-baked attempt? Oh yes, they did. The story starts in the year 2552 in a dusty outpost on the planet Madrigal. And yes, you're right in noticing that the TV show retains the awkward place names from the game, including the name of the human-based planet Reach. Here, the players of a wild card game discuss their uprising against the UNSC and the oh-so-terrifying Spartans, who they believe are unstoppable because they just keep on killing with no end in sight. Soon after, a group of marauders appear, destroying the heads and legs of a loose group of teenagers in the woods before invading the rebel base and dismembering enemies. These 10-foot-tall armored lizards never stop murdering, until, of course, another group of even more powerful armored titans show up and slaughter the original group. Some pretty straightforward, predictable writing for that scene. To observe what the soldier sees as he chooses weaponry and studies the battlefield, we climb inside one of their helmets of all places. This is pretty much exactly like what an Xbox gamer might see. One of those adolescents, a female who is the sole survivor of the entire rebel gang, overhears the main guy, who is an American action movie cliche, say something to attract attention, and after all this, the opening title plays. Next, we'll take a look at how the source material is captured. For the uninitiated to the Halo franchise, it takes some time to realize that the Covenant ambushes the human rebels, and that their usual adversaries, the Spartans, attempt to save them. While non-gamers saw a mediocre battle scene with unclear and confusing protagonist motivations, gamers delighted in a live-action rendition of what was originally a Halo level. Cut to UNSC headquarters, where Natasha McElhone is donning a calf-length white jacket with thin gray piping that the show assumes we'll all be wearing by the year 26. Dr. Catherine Halsey of the UNSC is aiming her alien skeleton at helmet camera footage of the most intriguing moment of the Madrigal mission, which is when John 117 was conducting a situation report following the combat. Here, he discovered some type of psychic amulet, touched it, and experienced visions unlike anything he had experienced before. Halsey is revealed to be a loose cannon with a scientific curiosity who has created a bald clone of herself and stored it in a cupboard. This is despite being told specifically not to do so by the obnoxious Admiral Perengoski, whose smooth propaganda successfully conceals the true ruthlessness with which it maintains control. Master Chief challenges everything he knows and goes rogue with the rebel survivor as his odd companion. His encounter with the mystery object brings back certain childhood memories that were suppressed around the time when he became a Spartan. What for the majority of the first episode is bland storytelling, which only captured the nature of mankind's sense of philosophy. However, it loads too slowly and falls flat on his face for trying to be a science fiction program that aims to be more rewarding than its original source material. Time for some other news. First up, Halo Dev explains the situation. A top Halo Infinite developer has provided a long-awaited explanation of why 343 Industries is delaying the release of patches that would address, among other things, hit detection problems. Senior Sandbox designer Brian Ryan Berryhill said that there is still a lot of elements at play with respect to ongoing upgrades to the Halo Infinite game in response to concerns on Reddit. In summary, developers who would typically concentrate on fixing problems such as hit registration have now been reassigned to other Infinite tasks, which is a brief summary of the matter. Berryhill was specifically reacting to a video that appeared to demonstrate that melee hit registration in Halo Infinite wasn't exactly functioning the way it should. The developer added that 343 developers view similar video footage internally in task and bug threads, and actually expressed appreciation for fans who put together compilation videos about Halo Infinite's problems so far. And finally, Infinite's new co-op feature. Next month, Halo Infinite will finally have campaign co-op, according to a statement from developer 343 Industries. Starting the week of July 15, a preliminary test, or a flight of sorts, will be conducted. Fans expecting to play split-screen co-op locally like in the good old days will still have to wait, since Microsoft is only testing online campaign co-op at this time. This is the first time the 343 has actually publicly announced the date of its online campaign co-op test, even though the company has long been indicating that it will take place in July. To get on the flight, players must have registered for the free public Halo Insider program, which was fairly easy to get started on. Since the network co-op test is a separate version of the game, any campaign progress you have already made in Halo Infinite will not be carried over, unfortunately. Nor will any progress you make in the test be added to any campaign saves you may already have till now. The game's lack of campaign co-op disappointed several players. In fact, lead world designer John Mulkey noted that the game's open world concept raised more questions than answers for the development team. Halo is good news for the streaming service. Halo was one of the most eagerly anticipated Paramount Plus exclusives to date, and the show has boosted interest in the streaming service on a massive global scale. Variety has just released new information claiming that Halo has surprisingly exceeded expectations in a number of areas, including Latin America. This led to record pace of sign-ups with the platform amongst users. Additionally, viewers are sticking with the show all the way up to the end. The fact that the game has already been given a second season renewal is pretty encouraging for the show's future. The show's mature themes, according to David Nevins, chief content officer of scripted originals for Paramount Plus, has also contributed to its success. Halo has overtaken 1883 to become Paramount Plus's second largest original series, although the Xbox adaptation has been licensed to networks in countries like France and Japan. Paramount Plus is presently unavailable in all markets. Of course, the fact that Halo has been a significant video game franchise for more than 20 years doesn't hurt, despite the fact that the brand has been successful since 2001. Kiki Wolfkill of 343 Industries thinks there is still room for the show and games to forge close connections. That's a wrap for this video. Did you get a chance to watch the new Halo series yet? What do you think of it? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.